right, got a little news flash for the ladies out there. That news flash is 30 is not the new 20. Do not let all of these articles and all of these TV hosts fool you into believing that 30 is the new 20 and that you can stay out there in the dating world, the dating landscape, you know, beyond the age of 30 while you chase your education and your corporate career and all these different degrees. You cannot, because 30 is very much 30, right? And before you know it, 40 will come real fast after you turn 30. I mean, I couldn't even believe how fast 40 came after I turned 30. I was already feeling like, man, I'm 30. And then all of a sudden 40 came, and now I'm like 50, getting ready to turn 53 next week. And I'm like, man, where'd time go? Where did time go, man? I'm 53. Look at that. Still fit, still in shape. But regardless, 30 is not the new 20, guys. Especially for women, okay? And I know ladies don't like when I do the whole double standard thing, but there double standards exist for a reason. And as men, as we get older, we do get better, right? We get more confident, we become more mature, we start to have more money, more resources. I mean, basically we become the full package, right? We come full circle. Whereas women, because their almost entire value is tied to their youth and attractiveness, once that goes, so goes everything else. Okay, because society really just values, as much as people don't like to say this, society just values women for their youth and fertility. Let's face it, right? Their ability to have babies and be young and hot. And then as soon as that's gone, you know, they kind of get left behind, right? I mean, you can see this very, very blatantly in Hollywood, right? Hollywood, I mean, there are a lot of great actresses, even great actresses that I remember growing up with that I feel could still act. How come they're not in more movies? No, you got these young ditzy broads that are, you know, I mean, I don't even find them that good looking. I wish I could say like, oh, it's hot. Like, Scarlett Johansson's hot. I don't find Scarlett Johansson hot. I find her kind of like a little too masculine. But I miss like a Jane Seymour or a, you know, who was hot back then? I mean, you know, or who was it? Like Catherine Bach back in the day, or I mean, I'm sure there are plenty other ones that I'm missing, but a lot of very like naturally beautiful women back then that I would love to still see today. And unfortunately, you don't, right? And I feel like these women even today are more talentless. These young actresses, I feel like they're just getting these jobs because of DEI and stuff, and they're not really qualified to be in these movies. They're just throwing them in there. This is why I stopped watching movies. I'm just not interested in that. I want to see talent, not, you know, forced diversity down my throat or anything like that. But regardless, but that's a situation in Hollywood, right, where they just, you know, 30 is definitely not the new 20, and they know that, right? And Hollywood's the most woke place on earth. You would imagine that they would be casting more of these older ladies that I talked about, but they're not. They're casting these young bimbos in a lot of these roles that I really don't even care to watch. So even Hollywood, like, you know, they kind of toss these women out as soon as they get too old. And so goes the story. But a lot of these articles are leading, you know, just misleading these women to believe, especially these younger women, which, you know, is really disheartening, because these younger women don't know any better, right? All they've known their entire lives so far is like attention and hotness, like just hotness and attention, right? That they're hot and I get attention, right? That's all they know. So they figure that gravy train is going to continue well into their, you know, well into their granny years, and it doesn't. They don't realize like, oh shoot, it's going to end like in 5 years. I'm going to turn 30. That's it. That'll be the end of the line. Nobody told me this. Well, that's why I'm telling you, right? I always tell these women, I'm your best friend. As much as some of them hate on me, I'm your best friend, all right? So yeah, a lot of these outlets will not, like HuffPo or The View, will never tell these women like, yeah, 30 is definitely not the new 20. You should probably not spend the best, most prime years of your life trying to get 3 different degrees and, you know, pursuing a career in finance, none of that's going to matter. You can do that later, right? I mean, 9 to 5, I always say, is not going anywhere. It will always be there through the end of time. But you know what won't always be there through the end of time? Your youth, your energy, your attractiveness. Okay? It's not going to be there through the end of time. I mean, even myself, as a 53-year-old man that now has a successful business, could I make a whole lot more money if I really just put 24/7 effort into my business? Absolutely. I could double my income. However, I'm also aware life is short, and I just spent the last 10 years working nonstop 24/7. And I really recently started giving myself more of a break the last few years, which I'm so thankful of, because, my dog Cash had recently passed away. I'm so thankful that we took all those vacations together. I'm so thankful I took breaks from work. I'm so thankful that I gave myself time to, smell the roses and just hang out with him and, enjoy his life. And now I have just me and Gizmo, and I'm trying to enjoy Gizmo, so life is short, man. And I know that, hey, the money is always going to be there. I could chase it. Is my youth always going to be there? No. But at the same time, there's a balance, right? You got to enjoy life, enjoy the fruits of your labor, as it says in the Bible. But also at the same time, I know that, I still want to make some more money while I'm still, young enough to do it. I don't want to be trying to, just lay down the hammer at 80 years old, or having to go sweep floors at McDonald's like some guys do. I feel bad for those guys. Like, you can tell they once had a good job, and now they're like 80 something sweeping floors at McDonald's because they made some wrong moves, or the economy turned on them, or they had some scammer take their money. So but don't buy this for a second that 30 is the new 20, because really, as a woman, your prime years are in your 20s. Okay? In your 20s. Which means you got to take advantage of it. How do you take advantage of it? You find yourself a very high value guy, very good guy who's going to love you, guy who's going to want to, build a life with you, maybe even build a family, and pair bond with that guy. Okay? You pair bond with that guy, you build something together, and whether you have kids or not, you've got that guy, you're building something together, and then in your 30s, when most women your age are trying to go back into the dating scene and find the man, you've already got your man. Now you could go into the college world if you want, or the business world, and go make your money if that's what you want to do. I don't even know why people still go to college, to be honest with you. You could just start a business. I mean, come on, we've been living through an entrepreneurial revolution for the last 25, 30 years. I mean, you should be taking advantage of this somehow, some way, right? You don't need school for this stuff if you just want to go make some money. But regardless, 30 is not the new 20. Do not be fooled, ladies, because if you stay out there believing this lie, believing this nonsense that 30 is the new 20, and that you could get back out there and date compete against 18-year-olds as a 35 or 39-year-old woman. No, I'm here to be honest with you. Most guys will go for the younger woman, right? Most guys will cast the younger woman, even if she is less talented, even if you were hotter than her back in the day, right? The fact that she's younger, they're going to choose her, right? Just like Hollywood, just like we were talking about, so that's all I have to say for tonight's coaching video. Drop your comments below. Anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to share, please drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.